All right, guys. So interesting thing. One of the requests I've been getting, or some feedback on some of these videos, is that people have been noticing the different watches I've been wearing during the video and commenting. And a couple people have messaged me and asked about, what kind of watch is that? Where'd you get it? So I just wanted to share with you kind of my watch collection and how it began and how it's really a hobby that you can get into at any price range. So initially it started with just G-Shocks. I think everybody likes G-Shocks when you're a kid and you have a G-Shock. It's pretty cool because it's indestructible. So my daily is actually this G-Shock right here, which has been modified with the black buttons and the black alt sensor right here. Also on the inside right there, that button's also been changed, which was red, and the inside bezel was swapped out. So this is my daily multi-band 6. It syncs automatically at night, solar power, super convenient. It's just a tough watch, so I use this daily. When I go to work, I'm in an office setting, so I go with one of these dress watches. So understanding that people have different price ranges, you might be able to afford something that's really high end, or you might get something that's just a couple $100 or even $100 or less than $100, and you can still do really well. I initially had this Seiko, which was a Seiko Kinetic, which means it goes off the battery charges off your movements. Really liked it, but the actual watch hand and the hours were just down here. See how that's the 12 and the 6? So it was really hard to read, and it was just a little too small for me, so no longer wear this. If you're on a budget, definitely check eBay. This is a vintage Seiko, which I believe you can pick up for about $100 to $200 depending on the condition. You'll notice the kanji lettering right there, which shows that it is and was made in Japan. Newer Seikos right now, you can probably get like a Seiko 5. So this is a, right there, Japan-made Seiko. Swapped out the strap to shark mesh. So it's just like a, kind of like a Mad Men style dress watch right there. Pretty small face, but really understated. So speaking of the Seiko 5, if you do choose to go Seiko 5, great dive watches. Not the highest in terms of reliability, but they're pretty rock solid. So this is a Seiko 5, but looking at the inside bezel, you'll notice that it doesn't say Seiko 5. It actually says 55 fathoms. So you can get a watch called a 50 fathoms, which is going to cost you quite a large sum of money. So instead, some guys on a watch forum decided, hey, the Seiko 5 kind of looks like the 50 fathoms. Why don't we call it the 55 fathoms since it's a Seiko 5? So that is called the 55 fathoms. So it's still technically a Seiko. So on the inside right there, you can see that it's Seiko, but the design of it is created to match a 55 fathoms. Also have this Citizen Nighthawk. So if you're just starting out, Citizen and Seiko is like the way to go. If you're gonna spend a bunch of money on like a fashion brand like Michael Kors or something, definitely go with Citizen or Seiko. You're getting a lot more bang for your buck. This one is the Nighthawk, came with a black bracelet, but I swapped it out to this Horween leather. You'll see that it says Echo Drive, which means it runs off of solar power. So the battery charges. I've had this for over 10 years now, haven't swapped out the battery once, still running. Time's off because I haven't set it, but you can see that it's still clicking through right there. You can also check out like your local Goodwill. This is a Timex, but you'll notice there's no branding on it, which I like. It's just simple, nice and clean. Timex right there. Picked this up at the local Goodwill store for $2. Was on a pretty cheap strap, so again, swapped it out to Heuer leather, and now it's just a very understated, really nice dress watch, and really like the numerals on this one. It's actually really loud though. So I don't know if you can hear that, but say Timexes tend to run a bit loud. Um, they still make something similar to this. I think the new ones now are all Timex Weekender watches. So if you want to pick one of those up, um, it's an easy way to get into collecting. Okay, then I have this. This is a Rodina. Again, I really don't like super loud logos or distracting design elements. So again, very simple, very modern, very minimalist. This is similar to a watch from a company called Nomos, few $1,000s, which I didn't want to spend because I wasn't sure if I would like the design. So I found this online for about 150. Nice thing about this is it is an automatic watch and it's sapphire glass. So sapphire, as you know, as Apple tried to do with their iPhone but didn't, is pretty indestructible. Like these, you might scratch them, get them scuffed up, but sapphire is pretty nearly indestructible, and for 150 bucks, getting an automatic movement with sapphire is unheard of. So this type of strap right here that you're seeing, this is called a Perlon strap or Perlone strap, and it's just it breathes really easy, nice and comfortable. Can dress it down in the summer, or you can dress it up. So like the texture of this type of watch band. All right, so now we're gonna get into a little pricier models right here. So if you're going to go like dress watch, again, I like clean and simple, which is why I have this. This is the Hamilton Intramatic. Reminds me of like a Mad Men era dress watch. Got it in the gold. And you'll notice again just how thin, sleek, and simple it is. It's not busy, it's not cluttered. When I was younger, I really liked like loud watches and big watches, and almost picked up like a Breitling. Really glad I didn't, because as you start to get a little older, you just want something that's really really understated, which this does. And you can pick one of these up for less than probably 600 bucks. Retail's about 1,000, but you can find them online for 500 or less. All right, next, this is my other daily wear. When I go to the office, I'm almost always wearing this. This is the Omega Speedmaster Reduced. This came on a bracelet, but I swapped it out to a NATO strap. One thing you notice with a lot of these watches is that they were on NATO straps, because there's just, NATO straps are super comfortable, breathe easy. You can wear them with like jeans, or you can wear it with, you know, work clothes. So Omega Speedmaster Reduced, you can get these on eBay for pretty cheap as well, or pretty cheap comparatively, because if you get a new Speedmaster right now, I think if you go to the boutique, it's like 8,000. I got this for about 1,200, 1,300. And then I have my Tag Heuer Carrera Chronograph. This watch was famous because Brad Pitt wore it, which I don't know if it's good or bad, but he wore it in the movie, I believe, Babel, and it kind of picked up steam from there. A lot of Formula One drivers also wore it. So this is a chronograph, which has 1, 2, 3 ways you can keep time with the watch. And last, going back to the G-Shocks. So just another white G-Shock, modded it out where I swapped out the inside to the silver, changed the button. G-Shock Frogman, excellent for diving. This was the 20th anniversary, I believe, or the 25th anniversary edition, which I swapped out the resin. And another G-Shock Riseman. So that's it for my collection for the time being. I'm always kind of buying and swapping and trading. So if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below. And thanks for watching.